Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests. My name is Philip Kao, president of Advanced Debaters Toastmaster Club, based in New York City. We are a hybrid club. We serve our members and guests online using Zoom conference, and we are also in person as well. However, we do not have a location at the moment, and we are personally looking for a location. But when we do meet in person, I'm sure it'll be past COVID. We'll still be compliant to any health standards post COVID. And then we will also be broadcasting that event live out of that physical location. And we will still be serving all our online members and all of our guests online as well. So without further ado, thank you all. So we are going to be talking about today some changes beginning January 12th for judging our debates. We have a ballot system that we have refined and reformed, and we want to discuss those changes with our members primarily, but also our guests as well. And if for anybody listening on the internet, this is also insightful for you. Hopefully, this is good information for you, and also excites you to join our club or attend our club as a guest and be part of our debates and also our public speaking. We give speeches on the second Tuesday of the month, and we have debates on the fourth Tuesday of the month. And for January 12th, the debate is "The Internet Makes Us Stupid." Kind of funny. Nothing serious. It's a exercise and art form for the most part, which means that it's a two versus two, but that doesn't mean that those teams actually believe that the internet makes us stupid. It's more of an exercise about conviction and conveyance of the information. They may not truly in their heart believe that the internet makes us more stupid. Um, in some cases, the teams that are competing against each other may feel the opposite of what they're debating about. So, for example, affirmative team is Lachelle and Muhammad. They are arguing that yes, the internet makes us stupid, but personally, they may not agree with that at all. And they may even believe that the internet makes us smarter. And the same goes for the negative team, which is supposed to deny the claims by the affirmative team, who are Lisa and Rory. They may personally feel that the internet does make us more stupid, but they're arguing against it. And that's perfectly fine. Um, they don't have to disclose their true opinions or true perspectives. Nor do we want them to. It's just an exercise. It's just for fun. And hopefully, you can join us January 12th. I will be sharing a screen now. So this is our website. You can go to it by www.adtm.club. And it will forward you to the meetup website that we have. This is our website here. So welcome all. This is our events. So upcoming is January 12th, 6:30 p.m. It's an online event for now. The internet makes us more stupid or makes us stupid. And you could come in and RSVP, join as a guest. And this is our link. And let's go on to the ballot. So once the debate begins for the members, we will be going in sequence. So this is the format that we follow. This is the Special Toastmasters International Debate format. This is based off the IPDA format, the International Public Debate Association. So the first round is constructive speeches, as you see here. Um, don't worry about too much about the numbers, but the ordering is what's important. Affirmative goes first. They have the burden of proof, so that's an advantage for them. Also, it's a disadvantage because they have the burden of proof, right? So they have 5 minutes. The affirmative starting out is Lachelle. She's the affirmative closer, which is probably a more effective way. Afterwards, she will be countered by Lisa Andrews. She's negative closer. So as you can see here also, affirmative team, Michelle Muhammad. Muhammad decided to be the cross-examiner for the team. Lisa and Rory is negative team. Rory Moore decided to be cross-examiner for negative team. And Lachelle is the closer for affirmative team and refuter. The same goes for Lisa. She's the refuter and closer. So according to our agenda, Lachelle will go first, then Lisa, 5 minutes as well. She will have 5 minutes to counter any claims and bring up her own evidence on the internet not making us more stupid, or in fact, she could even bring up evidence that it makes us smarter. It's entirely up to the negative team. Um, once Lisa is done, then it's Muhammad. He's the affirmative. He will be countering Lisa, also bringing up his own points. And to close the constructive speech round is Rory Moore at 7:01 p.m. So what does that look like on the ballot for Zoom? Looks like this here. This is the members poll. Let me zoom in a little bit. Constructive speech. Now, as you can see here, it's 6 aspects that we want you to focus on as a judge. This is for members only for the time being. We have a more enjoyable, I guess, poll for the guests, which will show on the evening of. But this is primarily for members. And once you're a guest, and if you decide to become a member, welcome. And this is what the ballot would be for you as well. This is based off of the ballot for the debate handbook here. So if we were in person, we would give this out to you as a judge. Record major points by affirmative negative team. Any refutations. So basically, if affirmative one, let's say shall, gives any major points, try to note that they were refuted by negative team as well, and vice versa. As far as the voting matrix, we're supposed to judge and determine the winner by 6 aspects here: analysis, reasoning, evidence, rebuttal, organization, and delivery. So 6 aspects, and you're supposed to judge 1 to 5 in this situation here for the constructive round. So when Lachelle goes up, she'll give her constructive speech from 1 to 5 points based on these 6 aspects. You would number her cell here, and so on and so forth for the constructive speech round. So we have to translate that into Zoom with the Zoom poll, so it will look like this. So in your opinion, which person had the best analysis? Lachelle, Lisa, Muhammad, Rory. This is in order of appearance. So you'll see 6 questions for the constructive speech round poll after they are done. See, evidence, organization, reasoning, and rebuttal. So once that is done, that poll is given out to the members. We will close that poll. It will be tallied, and then we'll be moving on to the cross-examination round, right? The cross-examination will be done by negative and affirmative cross-examiners. So negative cross-examines affirmative first. So that's Rory here. Rory will cross-examine Muhammad first. 3 minutes. Once Rory is done, Muhammad will cross-examine Rory. Okay. And then that would be the cross-examination round. So you'll see that here. Same sequence, right? 6 aspects: analysis, delivery, evidence, organization, reasoning, and rebuttal. You'll choose between the two in the cross-examination round. This is in order of appearance, so to make things more followable or clear. So Rory's going first, Mom's going second. And then this would be going on for all 6 questions. And members, it's very important to fill out all 6 answers, or rather complete all 6 questions. The same for the constructive speech poll as well. All answers. Sorry, complete all 6 questions. Single choice. Once that's done, we'll move on to the final round, which is the closing and refutation. 3 minutes apiece. For Lisa, she is first, negative refutation and summary. Right, Lisa's a negative closer, refuter. She'll have 3 minutes. Once she's done, Lachelle will close the debate entirely with her last 3 minutes, refuting any claims and summarizing the debate. Once the debate is over, we will give 2 final polls here. Refutation closing poll. As you see, Lisa's first, Lachelle second. 6 questions. Please complete them all, members. And they're based off the same 6 aspects: analysis, delivery, evidence, organization, reasoning, and rebuttal. Once that is done, that will be tallied. And then from there, we will give the debate victory poll. This is the one that is going to determine the winner. So you probably asked the question, well, why would we give out 3 polls prior for each round when the 4th poll, which is the debate victory poll, is the only one that matters? Well, this is just to kind of simulate the ballot itself. See that? This is the bottom part of the ballot, and it says, in my opinion, the better debating was done by either affirmative or negative names of winning team members. Notice how they didn't take the total, and based off the total, you would then find your winner. It's entirely open. And you can, as a matter of principle, take the total on this paper ballot and then make that be the determining factor as to who wins the debate, right? In Zoom, there is no quantifiable poll like that. So hopefully, if you are judging by that principle, you would kind of consider that the person or the team that scored better out of these 3 polls, you would then consider them the winner by noting that on the debate victory poll. Now, you're probably going to ask, well, then, why would somebody still vote for the team that scored less? Okay, good question. And at times, despite these 3 polls prior, the winner of the 4th poll may not be the most earning team of the 3 polls prior. So, for example, Let's say Lisa and Rory won 2 polls of 3. Prior to that, they should win the 4th poll, right? And or for example, if Lachelle and Muhammad loses these 3 polls, they should not be winning, but they might win based off this poll anyway. Well, so that seems kind of unfair. Okay, let's explain that one. Going back to this goes back to judging uh, debates. You can still judge, or you can still determine a low point winner. So if for some reason, if you feel that these 6 aspects are not enough for you to make your decision, and you felt that other aspects should be considered as well, maybe punctuality, character, politeness, so on and so forth. There's a multitude of reasons why a judge would feel differently about the quantification of this ballot and still give the team the win, even though they scored low on this voting matrix, is because you are entitled to do so. We're not going to ask why you would deem that team the winner when they scored lower. We're not going to really. We're just not going to ask you what was your scoring at all. Um, and that's because these 6 aspects may not be enough for you, right? And you are entitled to your opinion. It says here, in my opinion, the better debating was done by affirmative or negative, and you would name the winning team members. And this poll shows that here, right? Now it would be interesting to see what would happen with the first 3 polls prior to that, and see that once these 3 are tallied, if they don't measure up or go in line with the 4th deciding poll, it would kind of suggest that it was a low point win, which is fine, right? Um, Very controversial, so understood. But let's go over some things to consider as a judge when you are judging the debates. As per this is the 2013 Toastmasters Debate Handbook. There isn't a recent one as of yet, and we are working to get a Pathways updated version of that in the near future. But for now, we do have this debate handbook as a form of structure to conduct our debates. So let's go over some facts to consider when judging a debate, and there are several. The reason why these are highlighted and the other aren't highlighted is because there was some consideration for a policy debate, and in this case, this is a factual debate. The internet makes this more stupid. It's not a policy because policy is where you take something that's status quo and suggest a solution that will solve problems such as poverty, trash pickup, malnourishment, so on and so forth, that you can present to the audience to solve these problems. And in that case, when it's a policy debate, the negative team can deny the effectiveness of your policy proposal, or they can craft their own solution that will go and compete with yours as the affirmative team. And then the judges will have to decide between 2 policies on which one is more effective. And these criteria that they mentioned that were not highlighted in this presentation goes into that. But this is a factual debate, so it's going to suggest that the facts presented by affirmative team, Lachelle Muhammad, are more true or more commonly found to be true than not. They're suggesting that the internet makes us stupid or makes us more stupid. We'll go in that clarification on January 12th. Sorry about that. And so it's fact versus fact, right? And as you can see now with the explosion of the internet, um, there are competing studies, competing facts, if you will. Some are, I don't know, not found to be true. Some are argumentative, so on and so forth. Um, this is not a fact checking exercise per se. It's more so about how well the debaters convey their information, how convincing it is, and all these, and the 6 aspects, of course. And, as a judge, you do your best to, determine who gave a better argument, who gave a better debate, right? So this is the factual style of debating. We also have opinion based or abstract, which is like December 8th, we did books makes better, reading books makes better time. Sorry, reading books is better time spent than watching movies. That's an opinion. DC Comics is much better than Marvel Comics. That's an opinion. They can't be determined factually because they are an opinion. And that opens up another style of debate, which we'll get into later. But for now, January 12th, 6:30 p.m., hopefully you can join us at Advanced Debaters. Link in the description below. And you would follow these criteria as a judge to the best of your ability, right? So a big challenging thing is, let's say 2. No matter how poorly the argument may have been developed by the affirmative team, it is presumed 1 if it goes unchallenged. So if negative team does not challenge any of the claims overall from affirmative team, it is presumed to be won by affirmative team. So for example, in this case here, affirmative team is arguing that the internet makes us more stupid. And if negative team just decides to talk about chocolate cake, vanilla ice cream, traveling to a different part of the world to visit and or live there, if they're not confronting them about that, it goes unchallenged. And then as a judge, you would see that as an automatic win. This never really happens in my experience as a judge. There were cases where the debate where the debaters, the opposing teams, were talking about the same subject. Well, Android versus Apple, for example, Android phones versus Apple phones. The 2 teams, according to the audience, felt like they didn't clash enough to make it a debate. There was more like 2 persuasive arguments simultaneously going in different directions. So there were cases like that, but for the most part, negative team does have to clash, and negative team usually does clash with affirmative team. Consideration number 5. Both teams should be debating the same thing. This goes back into what we were saying. The affirmative team has a right to initiate any fair definition, which they've done. They met about a month ago, and they defined the resolution, and they agreed on it. Let's jump back to 7 later. Although the above principles are primary, a judge should penalize depending on the severity of the practice, such as discourtesy towards opponents, distortion of opponents' remarks, obvious fabrication of evidence. So, just be courteous. Make sure if you're going to quote them, use their words, use your ability to be, professional, courteous. There is banter. There is like some fun. We do. It is entertaining. It's supposed to be fun. Sometimes, things are funny, and hopefully, both parties aren't taken back by it. But at the same time, we're not rude. We're not deliberately offensive or extreme to the point where like we're here to make somebody feel bad or here to make somebody be ashamed of their views or anything like that. We're just here to like have fun, poke fun at each other's arguments, and have a good evening. But just don't take it to the extreme. This is what it's saying here. Number 10, delivery by itself should not be a major factor in determining the decision. So, for example, if the teams didn't deliver as well as you thought or would have liked, um, however, you should judge their delivery by the influence of clarity and credibility of their ideas. So, as their ideas are important, um, we're a public speaking debating club. So we are new to this. Many of us are new. Many of us don't have the experience that we would like to have eventually down the road. So we'll stutter, we'll get nervous, so on and so forth. But as a judge, you shouldn't really focus on how nervous or how many times that they had filler words and so on, but more so about their ideas, the structure, the resonance, the execution of those ideas, and make your judgment from there. And then going back to the last point I wanted to make which is number 7. In no case should a judge give a consolation or sympathy vote to the weaker team or award a tie vote. So we've had many experiences with this, not just in my club, this is not a thing that is a problem, but I mean, I've have seen this. Sometimes, I've seen judges give one team, the next to the other team, so back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and ultimately at the end it becomes a tie or it becomes an equal vote. So when their ballot gets counted among everyone else's ballot, they don't they don't feel like they're the bad person. You know, according to point number 7 here, you shouldn't do that. Um, and I totally understand because the debaters do spend a lot of time researching. They do spend a lot of time rehearsing it, and we are a club that has have our members should learn and welcome, you know, a defeat or a loss. And it's not a bad thing. It's something where we should take those criticisms and improve ourselves as debaters, as public speakers. You should be able to say, you know, I think you could have done a better job. There's nothing wrong with that. And we understand that some people are sensitive, members or guests alike, but you know, you're supposed to take that in stride and not let that, you know, beat you up inside, right? And, if for some reason you feel like you can't take the criticism, you have to be honest to yourself, honest to us. Um, you know, until you can build up that resilience, you know, we, we kind of would really have to rethink about, your place with us because we're not, you know, here to beat you up, but at the same time, you will be facing loss. You can't win all your debates. Maybe you can, who knows? But when you do lose and it is tough, just give your best person forward at all times, right? So, and it's unfair as a judge for you to say, well, I don't want to be the bad person, so I don't want to say who wins or loses or who did better and who didn't. That's not what the point of this low point win is about. The low point win is because, according to point number 7, if for some reason these 6 are not enough for you to make that that didn't quantify your decision, that you or your gut decision, you feel like this team should win because of X, Y, and Z, and it's not enough here that's mentioned, then you go ahead. You say, you know what? I feel within my heart of hearts that this team deserves to win. But you don't do that by saying that, I feel bad for you. You know, I want to console you. So I think you should win. And if you really do feel like it's a tie, great. But this shouldn't be a habit for you. This shouldn't be just because, I don't want to vote, so I'll just give it a tie. And if you honestly don't want to vote because you don't want to seem like that person, then it's better you don't vote because people are looking to you for direction. So just be honest as a member. And that's basically it. This is to sum everything up. 4 polls, constructive speeches, cross examination, reputation and closing, and finally the debate victory poll. This is the determining factor right here. In my opinion, the better debating was done by affirmative team or negative team. So this is our structure for members moving forward. Our guests will still be using the original poll, which is the net change. So this is for December 8th. Do you agree that reading books is better time spent than watching movies? You will either say yes, no, or undecided. That number will be tallied, and then the guests, once the debate is over, will be given their post poll, which is a net change again. After listening to the debate, I prefer reading books. I rather watch movies or undecided. And then from that, the change from pre and post would be considered. And then the debate team would win one of 3 criteria. The second criteria is who was the best debate team. This is for guests still, affirmative team or negative team. And the third is best debater of the evening. And the reason why we have this poll is because we want to, give a shout out to the best debater of the evening, and then the guests get to make that acknowledgement with the debater. And the way that we used to do this is the old way. Um, if you win 2 of 3 criteria here, you win the debate. But this is very similar to what we have now. It's just that we made a new, ballot voting system to address those concerns that we're not as one to one with the ballot here. So it does have some differences, but it does have the ultimate similarity that at the end of the day, you do determine who wins the debate by their performance. All right, so please join us. We are at www.adtm.club. We'll be taken here. Go to our events page. I'm Philip Kao, club president. Hopefully you could join us for January 12th, 2021, 6:30 p.m. Link to event is here. And please join us as a guest. Members, thank you so much for your help. Moira, debate master of the evening. Mary, joke master. Pam, ballot counter, chat moderator. To my debaters for January 12th, good luck. Thanks so much for your support. Michelle, Lisa, Mohammed, Rory. Joseph, thank you for signing up as Alkana Grammarian. Harshit Nanda from NYU. Hopefully you can join us as a member January 12th. Thank you for being the negative team evaluator. Zach, general evaluator, all of our members. Thanks so much. Have a great night. Take care.